Welcome on into the Players Club presented by Pepsi. Julie Donaldson here with you. With us is D'Angelo Hall and Fred Smoot. We are in our what do we call this studio?
Makeshift studio.
Our makeshift studio,
yes.
Because COVID is making life difficult for everybody. We are so sick and tired of it. Because of that, our guest this week is going to have to join us virtually, but you're going to want to make sure you stick around for that because It is Terry McLaurin, our playmaker.
Yes, it is.
I'd like to get his comments on how he plans to beat you guys and make sure that you don't get to strap him up.
Young people don't beat up on old people. Why do you do this?
No.
Me and D Holler in the old folks' home of football.
I'm not talking
these
now.
youngsters to beat up on us all the time.
I'm talking about if you were in the game going up against him, what's he going to do to try and
I'm gonna
get one over on
I'm
you?
gonna get a couple preachers to pray for. That's what I'm gonna do.
That would be a bad.
So we do have Terry McLaurin coming up, but before we get to that, and also we'll be going around the league later. Let's get to. I just want to get some of our thoughts on the Cowboys game, and then we'll move on to the Eagles. Okay, this is the kickoff presented by Innova, the official health system of the Washington football team. Learn more at innova.org. All right, you had to watch the film of the Cowboys game, right? Mm-hmm. You had to go and look at that as you prepare in your routine for the upcoming game. What do we want to take from that game, D'Angelo, that will help this team?
What do you want to take from that game? I don't know if you want to take much from that game.
Nothing.
But as far as the film, you definitely want to watch the film. This is one of those games that you want to watch the film because you got to make your corrections. But after you make those corrections, this is a game that you gotta burn the film. Because that watching what we saw happen was not this football team. It wasn't what we've seen from this football team.
Never.
The camaraderie. The altercations on the sideline, the blown plays. It just wasn't indicative of how this team typically goes out and performs. And so, it's easy as a player in that locker room to say, hey, this is a one-off. Bam, we made this, X amount of mistakes.
Yes, it is.
It was when I played, absolutely. When you're not playing and you're in the media, that's all you see because we don't affect every single day as far as going in there and having a way to get your mind off of it. Washington, those players have already moved on to Philadelphia. They're trying to figure out what they need to do to win that game. And so for us in the media, yes, we're going to keep harping on it because that's the last thing we saw. But as a player in that locker room, you got to move on because regardless if you had success or if you got your butts kicked, the next game is still going to happen. And so, no one game that you've played is going to win or lose you the next game. So this team has to get that out of their minds and focus in on what they have to do.
Coach says that this is kind of a rebuild. He took over a team that had 3 wins. They won the division a little bit by default at 7-9 because the division was what it was.
You can't take it away from them.
We went on a good win streak after the break there, Fred. And then we hit the Cowboys. And it's been kind of like a skid since then. Are the Cowboys really that good, or did they just expose how far we really have to go, kind of to what Coach Ron Rivera has said, that we are still rebuilding?
Well, you think about it, that home game, all the mistakes we made, we started to come back in that game. I just think the season started to catch up with us. I'm looking at some guys, what I watched the other day. I seen a team that was emotionally beat down, physically beat down. COVID has taken its toll. Off the field, things have taken their toll, and it was the perfect storm. The one thing we've seen consistently with Coach Rivera is no matter what game they in, they've always in the game. Besides that Bills game, no game since he's been here has got out of hand. That game got out of hand, and I think people forget that we were missing 20 people. I know that ain't no excuse. A lot of people dealing with it. Every team dealing with it. But when you get all that as the perfect storm, yes, you're going to see some combustible. That's when fires start. Like me and D. Hall was talking about it. Y'all see fights on the sideline. It's new to y'all. But we see them all the time. Practice, doing games in the locker room. Like, we see it all the time. When you get 53 alpha males in a situation where nothing's going right. Nothing's going right. We ain't gonna start to point fingers at each other. We gonna start to point fists at each other. It's just different. And I think it ain't crazy to us, but I know if you're the fan, you're like, here we go again. They can't even get along. Well, I'm sorry. Everybody out there work a job. You don't get along with everybody you work with every day.
Yeah, when you're frustrated, things happen. You know, having been, I'm over here trying to catch my words, make sure I don't say nothing I'm not supposed to, because I've been a guy who's got into altercations with other players. I've been a guy who's got into altercations with coaches.
Amen.
And it's something about that player-coach dynamic, player-player dynamic that, you know, it's different from the real world.
Family.
You know,
It's a family
it is
dynamic.
family. It's pressure situations, and sometimes things do boil over. But the good part about it, I mean, players got short memories. You know, you kind of almost have to. I talked about earlier how, you know, regardless if you have success in a play or failure in that play, you got to move on and go to the next play. And it's kind of the same thing. I mean, like I said, I've got into altercations with players on the field, on the sidelines, and they've been my best of friends off the field. And so, you know, not really knowing all that went into that, I don't put a lot of stock into it, because players are different creatures.
Yeah.
You know, we can fuss and cuss you out and love you up 5 seconds later.
Yeah. But how many jobs do you have to literally battle all week with the same guy that's trying to take your job, then come together on Sundays and become one unit? That type of pressure is not in every job. That type of pressure, how many people are best friends with the guy that's trying to, like DBs, we are usually tight.
Yeah.
But we know it's a competition in this room. And I think that factors in when stuff like this happen, because it's still an alpha-dominated territory.
To that point, we've heard John Allen, even before any of the altercations, basically say just that every man out there, he's paid to be a professional. He's out there for a reason. He's fighting for his job, and there's an expectation. So they haven't made excuses for anything that they have done or how the season or last few weeks have gone. And Fred, you kind of touched on it too. I mean, aside from injuries, aside from COVID, they've had to deal with a lot of off-field stuff. DeShazer Everett getting in a car accident. His girlfriend's life, unfortunately, lost in that. He's not with the team. You have Montez Sweat. His brother was killed. He lost his mom earlier in the year. He's having a hard time processing that. Yeah. And that emotion trickles on to your teammates.
The team feel it.
That's hard to come together.
The team feel it.
But you do have another game coming up. And it is your third game in 13 days. But this is the first time you've had some form of normalcy to how a week should go from Sunday to Sunday. Okay, so when we come back here on the Players Club, we're going to talk with Terry McLaurin. Where is he at in his season? Kind of a little bit. We'll see what makes that man so humble. We needed him to do some bragging on this show. Keep it right here on the Players Club, presented by Pepsi. The Players Club is brought to you by Geico. Saving you money on car insurance has been in Geico's playbook for 85 years. So what are you waiting for? Visit geico.com today and see all the ways you could save.
Hey Washington fans, Alex Strymel from Box is here to tell you that you don't have to wait for the big game anymore to get in on the action. With Box's free-to-play games, you can pick boxes every day and win huge prizes across all your favorite sports. All you have to do is pick a box, match your numbers, and win. So download the app now and start playing today. Games are completely free, and players can win official Washington football team merchandise and other great prizes all season long. Boxes, it's anyone's game.
Imagine coming home to a place where the fun never ends. A happy community set in beautiful rolling horse country, where the custom homes and villas are extraordinary, and the Jack Nicklaus signature golf course and other amenities make every day another reason to smile. Visit Creighton Farms and you'll see it's happiness on a grand scale.
This one's for every sports fan who just spent the entire game explaining to someone the entire game. You've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Honda is the most awarded brand of the last decade, loaded with safety features and rugged capabilities. So it's no wonder we're selling them faster than ever. Like the all-wheel drive 8-passenger Pilot, the Adventurous all-wheel drive Passport, or the versatile HR-V crossover. Don't wait. Act fast and reserve your Honda today. New models are arriving daily. See your local Honda dealer.
You can celebrate your lottery win lots and lots of ways. But the very best way to play is responsibly. See how to play within your limits at mdlottery.com/playresponsibly.
How do you follow up a game as big as Powerball? With a little more Powerball. Introducing Powerball Double Play, a second drawing where you could win up to $10 million on your same numbers. Add a little more fun for just $1 more. Drawings now 3 nights a week.
Another rock and roll weekend.
Burgers, better with Pepsi.
And welcome back into the Players Club. It is time for our Pepsi player profile. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington football team. Joining us this week, we've been waiting all season long for this, guys. Terry McLaurin joins us. Terry, so glad to have you on the show. We keep saying, when do we get our playmaker out here? But let me start off asking you this. You're here with 2 DBs. How would you try and juke them to get open and score that TD? What's the key?
I want to get the ball in my hand first, so I need them to come up and tackle me first. You know what I mean? I gotta see what they talking about in tackling, and then we gonna go from there.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Terry. We do have something in common. From the time I got here to probably my 4th year, I played with like 7, 8 different quarterbacks. I'm talking Jeff George, Mark Brunell, Jason Campbell. I even had the other Hasselback, not the real one, the other Hasselback. How do you conform and how do you adjust to catching passes from so many different people, not having a genuine pass catcher relationship with them?
Yeah, I mean, I think my mindset going into each and every game is my job really don't change. My job is to get open and make plays no matter who's back there. But it can be challenging sometimes, necessarily because, different quarterbacks throw different routes a certain way depending on the leverage. So, if let's say I got a corner route, you a DB. Yeah. If I got a corner route and you're in trail coverage, you right underneath me. Is the quarterback going to throw it over the top, or is he expecting me to come flat and throw it in front of me? You know what I mean? So there's little things like that. Trying to get on the same page is the biggest thing that I've tried to do with every quarterback I played with so far. And at the end of the day, just try to make them look good.
Hey, Terry, I want to ask you a little bit about just your game. You got so much maturity in your game. You know what I'm saying? Like, where did that come from? Because you weren't a guy who got a whole lot of targets in college. You know what I mean? Y'all had other guys who were kind of, the big name guys.
3 first rounders. Yeah.
You come and get here, and it's like, where in the hell was Oak State hiding this dude at?
Yeah, that's a good question. And honestly, it took me probably going into my last year to really appreciate kind of what my situation was. And I knew that I was going into my last year as a senior, and I was going to be kind of like the deep ball guy and get a few passes here and there. But at the same time, I was training to get ready to be an NFL football player. I felt like I had the ability to play receiver in the NFL at a high level, not just play special teams. But I knew if my role was coming in the NFL to get my foot in the door to play special teams, and I was going to be a dog out there doing that. So being under Coach Brian Hartline, who played in the NFL, I kind of had that advantage of learning wide receiver routes, what it's like to practice at the NFL level, what they're looking for going into like the pre-draft process. So I kind of had a jump start going into my last year of kind of preparing to be like a pro. So when I got to Washington and I got into my first training camp in OTAs, I had the benefit of going against first-round corners like Marshawn Lattimore, Denzel Ward, Garyon Conley. That competition, I was used to going against top dudes week in, week out. So if you didn't come ready to practice, you was going to get exposed each and every day. And that's like how the NFL is. My first practice coming out here was against J-No, DRC, and I forget the other corner, but those are 2 vet corners who you ain't gonna come out here and try that college stuff and get open. So you really gotta be technically sound in the way you approach running routes if you want to try to create separation in this league.
Terry, let me ask you this question. A lot of people in the DMV area, they know the game that you bring on the football field. Right. What do you think people on the outside kind of don't see? The national media. A lot of people give you respect, but a lot of people are sleeping on Terry McLaurin as far as on that national stage.
Because he's not a diva. Right. He don't talk. He don't sell himself. And do you think that hurts you sometimes?
Yeah,
a receiver that sell himself,
I think it do. I think me personally, I'm not the type of person to really go out there and seek extra attention. You know what I mean? You're not going to really see me going back and forth with people on the internet. You're not going to see me going back and forth with really somebody on the field unless they started. You know what I mean? Like, I'm real competitive. I respect the game and I'm competitive, but at the same time is I put in the work and I'm humble about it. You know what I mean? Because this game can be taken from you at any given moment. Just because you got one good play don't mean you're going to have that same success next week. So you got to have the approach of it's a new week, it's a new opportunity. I got to prove myself. Like, I guess Ohio State taught me I always have to prove myself. You know what I mean? You really always got to make plays to earn my respect, and that's kind of how I carry myself.
I remember saying on draft day, I remember I was the first person to have a conversation with you and congratulate you on draft day, and I was very impressed with just the interview. And I think I told Julie that that's the best interview I had with a guy that was just drafted. Now I hear, I am the 21st. I think I won it 21 times in a row. Daniel Boone Award winner. I am a outdoorsman. I am a fisherman. I hear that you are too a fisherman. Oh, yeah. I am a bass master. Tell me, what type of fish do you like to fish? And do you got any, favorite fishing holes or places you like to go to fish?
Yeah, so I'm a big bass fisher. I don't really do the deep sea fishing. I get a little seasick. I get up there, get a little shaky, but bass, crappie. I mess with anything like that, but if Ashburn Village, they got a little apartment complex over at Ashburn Village. I've gone over a few times. There's a little spot in Leesburg I like to go to. So I got in contact with a guy on Instagram. His name's Lip Ripper, and he took me out in Florida in the off season. We caught probably like 45 fish that day.
Oh yeah. Bass. Oh, good day.
And hopefully, I would get another house one day, and I want to build myself a pond back there to get my own fish and get down. So, I mean, it's just something like I think fishing is something that I like doing outside of football. I think you can make it competitive. I think it's something that you can relax outside. And it's something that's like, once you catch one fish, it's like, I got to catch another one.
No, they keep coming. They keep coming. I need to be bigger. I need them to be bigger every time. Like, I done got so good at fishing. I just walk past the pond.
Oh, and the fish jump out?
They just jump out and kill themselves. That's what they do. Hey, you just tell me when. It's a lot of good spots in West Virginia, right across by Georgetown. A lot of good fishing out there.
I mean, look, of course we know Terry Popular. We got you here in the market. Like any fan to have you. What's it like when you see all these kids opening up the 17 jerseys on Christmas?
That's crazy. I think that's the most humbling part about all this that I do, because like at the end of the day, football is what I do. It's not who I am. So like when I have those tough games or we're losing, but you have like a little kid and you could sign their ball or their jersey or give them some gloves. And I remember being a football fan, being that young, and how much I grew up loving Marvin Harrison. I knew I would have gave my left foot to Marvin Harrison. Yeah. So like to see them support me in my jersey and calling my name out and things like that, and just taking the time just to ask them what their name is and spend time with them is something that I really enjoy about this platform that I have.
Again, the maturity, so right? You talk about.
Yes, the maturity. You know what's so funny? To hear him say his favorite player is Marvin Harrison blows my mind, because you can ask everybody else who they would pick as a receiver, and everybody gets the T.O.s and the Randy Mosses, but hands down, bruh, having to guard Marvin Harrison
I had to do it.
was the toughest thing I've had to do. And I'm telling you, and Marvin will play with you, because I remember going up against him.
And he talk more than you think.
Yes, sir.
He talk.
And he grabbed me up so strong. You wouldn't expect a little skinny dude to be that strong. He yoked me up. He's like, D-Hall, you don't want none of this. And I ain't say another word to him the rest of the game. I ain't never been like shook. But he had me really, really nervous. So that tells me a lot about your game, Marvin Harrison.
It ain't nothing dangerous than a A1 receiver with an A1 quarterback like Peyton Manning.
For sure.
When he want to change the play, he just look at him. And that's what I want you to eventually have one day. When you can eventually just look at your quarterback and y'all can change their play, that's magic we can't compete with.
No doubt. He knows.
What's that trash talking for you, Terry? You have it?
Who, me? Yeah. But I don't start it. I just finish it.
He's so physical. He right out there trying to kill people.
I love it. I love it. What better way to finish this interview and letting Terry have the last word of finishing it here. Look, so honored and glad to finally have you on the show. Huge fans. Everybody is. We love Terry. And I couldn't imagine if I'm just hanging out at my apartment complex.
I'm almost mad.
And Terry McLaurin's fishing in the backyard.
Oh, yeah. I'm right there. Fishing. Let me know when you're over there.
Terry could be at a pond near you.
Hey, I'm just right there fishing.
But I'm jealous as a fan too. I'm mad Terry ain't sitting in here, man. Like, bro, I'm telling you now, like, I love your game. I'm over here. I got my crush on right now because, bro, I love your game, man. Like, it is no denying, bro. You are a star. Keep balling, keep working, keep keeping that humble spirit about yourself, keep grinding. Man, I wish a lot of other guys in that locker room had the same kind of fight you got, bro.
I remember the first time I asked Ike Hilliard about you, he said, man, if I had 52 players just like Terry McLaurin, forget it. Super Bowl every single season. So we can sing your praises all day. If D'Angelo asks for your autograph saying it's for his kids, you know it's for him.
I will.
We just
I just got you for my boys. So
there you go. Terry, thanks. We continue to watch you have a lot of success and rooting for you as well. You go catch some. I don't know that the fish will do.
Catch balls and go catch fish.
Go get some rest.
Thanks, Terry. Appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks, brother. Always fun.
Yeah, y'all have a good one. Good to see y'all.
Yeah, happy New Year.
holidays.
Happy holidays, brother.
The Players Club is brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Washington football team. Washington Gold members, the time to renew your 2022 season ticket membership is now. Your membership includes more benefits than ever before, plus new year-round events tailored to you. Guarantee your seats for 2022 today with no money down. Make sure to renew by December 16th to receive an exclusive new team-branded duffel bag. Renew today at WashingtonFootball.com/myaccount or call or text 301-276-6050.
My work has been viewed by 100 million people. My work helps save lives. My work has gone platinum. My work gives people hope. I work at FedEx.
Take your career to the next level with one of our many open positions.
We love our house. Been here for years.
Yeah, but there's an animal in the attic. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Honda is the most awarded brand of the last decade, loaded with safety features and rugged capabilities. So it's no wonder we're selling them faster than ever. Like the all-wheel drive 8-passenger Pilot, the Adventurous all-wheel drive Passport, or the versatile HR-V crossover. Don't wait. Act fast and reserve your Honda today. New models are arriving daily. See your local Honda dealer.
I've been on my get back, cop a bag slow. You would never see that. Use the trap though.
We're back on the Players Club presented by Pepsi. The NFL is never short on storylines. Let's go around the league with a few of those gentlemen. And let me start with one that has like a really big impact on the league. John Madden passing at 85 years old. Great coaching career, even though 30 years of the broadcast booth, great broadcast career. A lot of the young kids might know for one of the greatest games ever in the NFL. What do you remember about him? You know, what legacy does he leave?
Greatness from a player Greatness from a coach to win Super Bowls. Greatness in the broadcast, changed the way games are broadcast. Greatness as a game developer. All right, that means he was literally from high school to the day he left this planet, he was always relevant. He was always changing something. Mm-hmm. He was the mind of the NFL. You think Al Davis, you think all these people, but John Madden stamped the game. And now he also took us into forever lore by making us digital. And that digitalizing us while we was in college and high school made us want to get to the point where I want to get to the NFL if I could see myself on this.
Do you remember
game.
that first time you played yourself in Madden?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You couldn't wait to play with yourself, even though I didn't agree with Madden what he gave me.
You never agree with your ratings. You never agree with your ratings, but having the opportunity to meet Coach Madden several times, playing in Oakland wasn't always the best experience, but I will say having that chance to sit in a room and talk to Al Davis, talk to Coach Madden, really pick their brains. I mean, this was a guy who, through the video game, I think I really learned how to play football, learn cover 2 and cover 3 and, where receivers were supposed to line up and how to attack certain coverages. And then to watch that kind of growth as I grew and started understanding the game and watching the game and hearing Coach in the booth. And then getting drafted and saying, man, I can't wait to play on prime time so Coach can call one of my games, and then getting to meet him and have him call your games. That was the biggest part. I know Smoot would agree. We all wanted to be good enough to get in those production meetings. So you got a chance to talk to him as well as he getting a chance to really pick your brain.
The Madden bus. You got the chance to talk to him if you could do it on Monday night. And that's what made Monday night so good. I was like, I got to get on that Madden bus. It's like the haircut chart at the barbershop. I want number 10 right there.
Let's get some hot takes now. Right. And this could be anywhere. We're not going to let it be to the Washington Potomac. You can open up anywhere. It is presented by Geico. Saving you money on car insurance has been in Geico's playbook for 85 years. So what are you waiting for? Visit geico.com today and see all the ways you could save. Hey, we are saying goodbye to 2021. It's time for the 2022 season to come in. Do y'all? I don't do New Year's resolutions. I just never have been.
Yeah.
Do you guys do that at all?
No, not really. I mean, I'm always trying to get better, be better.
I think I agree.
Yeah, I don't really make.
Because I feel like anybody that sets that up and has to wait for one day for that to start, you're setting yourselves up for it to not last.
You're going to fail. But my daughter hit me with a.
It's like I'm going to eat cake all the way up until I got 5 more days to eat cake, 4 more days to eat cake, 3 more days to eat. Like you're going to be eating cake in a matter of 3 days after the resolution's made.
A numeral thing. She said, "Can you say 2022?" And I was like, yeah, what you mean, 2022? She was like, no, it's going to be 2020 part 2 again. I was like, no, stop it. No,
well, we could say that about 19 as well, I feel like. There you go, folks. We have no New Year's resolutions for you because we're not that kind. But you know what? If you do make them, just stick with them. That's all. Stick with them all the way year round. And you won't have to make them again as we work
You can lie to a lot of people.
That's going to do it for this episode of The Players Club. Goodbye, 2021. For D'Angelo Hall, Fred Smoot, I'm Julie Donaldson. Glad to have Terry McLaurin join us, of course. We'll see you next time.